Hello everybody, this is Pete from Paw Labs, and I want to do a video on threads. What you're looking at is a couple about screens that I have in applications that I think are pretty cool. I mean, they're cutesy and all. I love the pair of gears that are running over here. And of course, any sort of automation on a screen is pretty cool looking, I think. Uh, so we've had discussions already about the thread of execution, and that's the main thread, the thread that begins when you start running an application. However, these threads are different. Okay, they're children threads, I guess, is what they would be could be thought of. They have limitations. Here's the auto it automation thread, and what I did was create a secondary thread, and it's autonomous. It runs and does his thing just as if he's the main thread. He'll run forever until I kill him or until the application that spawned him is turned off or closed or crashes or what have you. He's just out there doing his thing. And it's a very simple process to kick off. The limitation that I referred to is that children threads can't spawn windows. Okay, the creation of windows is only in the main thread. This can just run code. It can paint images. It can do just about everything, but it can't handle the user interaction and that sort of thing. This is an autonomous um, I don't being, if you want to consider it that. You're giving it life. Um, so it starts with a real simple sentence. Okay, all it is you get given an ID, as you do with absolutely everything in PureBasic. You say create the thread, and then you identify the function. That's what this is. The function that kicks the thread off and is the thread running. This little procedure right here, and you get well, we'll go look into this. This is an ID. You can normally, if like on the war game, what I do on that one parameter, you get one parameter here, and it can be a pointer to an object, which is pretty cool because then it can be a full structure of information that you're passing to that particular process. Now, it's external to the process on the call, but it's not external to this procedure, and we'll go look at that in just a second. Now, this procedure returns the ID of the process, and you can say kill this ID, and that will kill the process as well. Okay, so you can track, the application can track if this is running or not running. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with that. So let's come up here and take a look at this process. And just like all processes, if I hold the control key down and double click it, it jumps straight to the process. So here's where I create the thread ID, the variable that holds his execution. And you can see it's anime thread, and then it's passing this parameter into him, which I just passed a simple 0. It doesn't need to pass something. It can if you want. So what I did here is this is basically an animation of 7 frames or 8 frames, and it sits in this repeat loop forever and plays those 7 frames. Okay. Now, I've done a video on how to do animations with frames, and you're painting to a canvas gadget. And so that's not the focus of this discussion. The discussion is that this chunk of code and this thread of execution that repeats here forever will repeat here forever because it's created separate from the main thread of execution of the application. kind of cool. Now, one of the things you can also do with threads is the game, okay? Because the server is, well, the server itself is a thread, okay? Because the main thread of execution stays with the player, all right? And the player, when he hosts the system, launches the executable. And let's go take a look at that one because that's kind of interesting as well. Let's see, compiler, project. There we go, close. And let's go ahead and jump over here to the video game. Okay. So the video game, there's the server itself. The game player launches the thread. I didn't get this. I didn't know I was coming here till I started talking. Okay, server process sounds really good. Find next to that guy. Okay, hey, look at that. So I have a procedure that's going to kick the whole thing off. Okay. And just like before, this is a run server thread. And actually, I guess we should look. I'm not sure. Let's look farther down the page for this. Okay. So there he is. Okay. So the server thread, create thread, and this procedure, IP start, is called from the host screen. Okay. And when you're hosting the game, he makes a call here with the game you've selected and the player you've selected. And then I build this whole server object and yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're doing here. Then I open the file up, I create a file and save this object here. And yes, I could have passed it, but I found this to be, I don't want to say more reliable. I just found it to make more sense to my head. Okay, so let's come back here to the run server thread. And oh, it was a whole procedure below. Look at that. Okay, so then uh, we do come in here. We could kick back the same thing, our process ID. And if you look over into this guy, you have a thread parameter, and the creation of a thread kicks back the ID. And then here, the thread I'm launching is a run program. Now, I haven't really covered run programs. I suppose I should. Um, let's see, that's over here in process. I haven't gotten to processes yet. Maybe I'll include that one next. Processes are the execution of other programs and the tracking of other programs that you've spawned. Okay, and that's a really fun environmental thing because you have the ability to pass strings to other programs and executables and receive data back from them in the process run program process environment. It's pretty neat, but here I don't really get anything back from it. I just fire up the server and he knows what he's doing after that. And you can make it hidden. You can just open them up. You can have them both on the screen at the same time. You can do all kinds of, it's got various parameters in there. But the goal here is just to show you how to go about calling a thread. And you call a thread, I mean, it can't get more simpler really than saying, okay, here's our server thread, create a thread and run this procedure and pass some sort of parameter. You have to pass something. Okay, I don't normally use that something. You can see it come in here to parm, and then I don't even touch parm after that. Most of the time I don't. But you can. So, so anyhow, this is the shared server process. We could do a procedure return, and I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, but it launches an autonomous process, okay, that can interact with this system you're playing, the application that you're running, and they have all kinds of uses. Uh, a lot of times I just use them for external kind of graphics and stuff, like I was just showing you here in automation, which is one of my favorite. Actually, the one in Class Builder I really like as well. I like both of these. I just think they're kind of cool to have a graphic up and moving in your own application that's independent of whatever the person's doing in the game or doing in whatever they're doing. It's just running over there on his own. So uh, that's really the gist of this, is to say, hey, we got this process. It's easy as pie to start. All you have to do is say server, whoops, not you, down here, create thread, and then give it a procedure, and he launches a whole new program into this other step, and this launches a whole new process, and it's just up and running unto himself. And and that's something you can take advantage of. Eventually, you'll run into something where you need to do that, and the answer is the thread section in the manual. So that really concludes this video. Thank you all for watching.